What's up, Allah? I've got a new sword, and this one is actually Viking Age this time. It's about time I got a Viking Age sword since I do a lot of Viking Age history here. This one in particular is based off of the Peterson Type M style sword from the Peterson typology of Viking Age swords, which is one of the most underrated types of swords from the Viking Age, I think, because they're among the most common. And it makes a lot of sense that they would be among the most common, because they're very simple. Swords were very much status symbols, and while if you could afford a really fancy one, you were probably going to do it, most people couldn't, and just getting a hold of a sword was plenty of status on its own, so simple was good enough. And you can see, it is in fact simple. There's not a lot of frills to this. It's just an H grip with a tang poking through, pinned into place, holding the pommel together and everything together. This is a very simple sword, and it did a very simple job. I also like them because they very much remind you that Viking Age swords weren't really that big of an evolution from swords from centuries earlier, such as the Vendel period, the early Anglo-Saxon migration period, or the late antiquity, such as this example from 5th century Britain, based on a find from Feltweld, England. This is a Roman spatha, and you can see they have more or less the same shape, the blades are weighted very, very similarly, and even the pommels are pinned on in very much a similar manner. Not a lot changed in the 400 years difference between the two. And they do a very similar job. If you try and use the techniques described in 15th and 16th century fencing manuals with this, it's going to punish you because it's not meant for that. It is very simple, meant to do a very simple job. Hack, slash, and stab, and paired with a shield, and the shield does the parrying. Because this type of grip and its weight means that if you try and use your wrist as a node for swinging it, it's going to dig into your wrist and it's going to punish you. In reality, you're going to use this sword in a manner not that dissimilar from an axe. In a lot of ways, this is an axe pretending to be a sword that has the benefit of thrusting at your enemy and not just hack and slash. Simple weapon for a simple job.